Hey, hello everybody. Merry Christmas. How are you today? Hope you're enjoying great times with friends and family and loved ones. Um, Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah for those that celebrate Hanukkah. So happy to be here today. I think it's the first time ever in the 3 years I've been in YouTube and had a channel that I've done a Christmas Day video right on the day of Christmas. But I thought I'd squeeze one in today because I was thinking about some nice things in the last day or so about how we form such wonderful friendships here in our little community, whether you want to call it the vinyl community, the music community, or in my case, the Beatles community. I feel like I'm a big part of the Beatles community, as many of you are. And we get together, and when we can, people that live close enough meet up with each other, especially at the fest for Beatles fans. Many of us email each other, write each other, text each other, phone call each other. We've really formed some good friendships here, as I'm sure many of you have. I know I have. And one of the nicest things about this little community is the networking of music. Many of you will show me things you have, or you will alert us about things you have received or bought, and it sparks, I know in my case, to run out and get it. If it's something I didn't hear about or didn't know about, I run right out and say, wow, that's something I've got to get. That's cool. I didn't know about it. And I like to think that sometimes I do that for you. I will show you some music I love, either Beatles related or non-Beatles related. And many of you have told me you'll run out and say, wow, that looks great. I'm going to go get that. Whether it's a piece of music. I remember back in 2018, it was the Wilkerson album. Last year I showed you the Gripweeds Trip Around the Sun album. Many of you ran out and bought that. So many examples we could give back and forth to each other about items that we've turned each other onto, so to speak. So the networking is great here in this little community. But I'm going to give you a recent example of it firsthand. Joe, Mean Mr. Mayo, saw one of my recent videos where I talked about the John Lennon U.S. Postal Service vinyl album. I guess that's what you call it. There's so many different things that we've been calling this thing. But basically it's the United States Postal Service put out a John Lennon vinyl stamp album recently. And I showed it off in one of my videos, and from the feedback I received, I think many of you ran out and tried to get that item, which I think is going to be very collectible. And I know Joe, Mr. Mayo, a good friend of mine here in the vinyl community, one of my first friends here in the vinyl community. He was very supportive 3 years ago when I first joined. Hello, Joe, by the way. Merry Christmas. He ran out and bought that, and he recently showed it in one of his videos. And I thought that was great. I show something, people like it, they go out and get it. People show me things, I go and get it. And here's an example. So I do that for Joe. Joe turns around, he does a video recently where he shows this album. It's called The Beatles, The Alternate Christmas Songs and Messages. Basically an alternative Beatles Christmas album. And Joe was showing this, he was talking about it, and I knew about a lot of the material already on this album. I'll show you the back here. Nice picture of the guys there. Nice cartoon image there. Here's the back. I knew about a lot of this stuff. I know it's not the greatest stuff. I know it's mezza. The Beatles Christmas messages are wonderful and they're nice to have. But now when you're talking the outtakes, now you're sinking down a little further. It's not the most listenable Christmas album. I'd rather be listening to Andy Williams like I have on right now or something else. But anyway, so Joe talked about it, but that wasn't the point, the material on it. It was just the collectability of this. The beautiful cover with that great image of the Beatles on the front, the great images on the back, and then you get this wonderful piece of vinyl, 180 gram vinyl. Oh, almost dropped it. Woo-hoo, that wouldn't have been good for the video, huh? Or maybe it would have been one of those moments, right? The thing smashes all over the floor. But here's the vinyl. Beautiful red, very holiday festive vinyl. So Joe showed his, and I just thought it was the coolest thing. And so I went out and got it because I had to have it, even though I knew the material wasn't that great. So I want to thank Joe. I want to thank the rest of you who have turned me on to music and albums and CDs over the years, these last 3 years. Thank you. And I hope I've done a little bit of that for you. So all the best to you. Merry Christmas. Enjoy your day. and I'll talk to you soon. But isn't the networking wonderful in this little community we have, folks? This little Beatles community? It's fabulous. So thanks again, folks. Have a great day with your family and loved ones. Talk to you soon. God bless. Bye-bye.